in the studio with us. Good to have you, June. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you, Leah.
Why a train?
I think, as you've just heard, South Africa's hosting this momentous COP17, and we thought perhaps as Indalo Yethu, the National Environment Agency, we should do something different that doesn't focus on Durban, but that rather engages in a conversation around the country.
Yeah.
And we thought that perhaps if you look at the rail network of South Africa, you actually pass the most amazing places in South Africa and often off the beaten track. So communities that generally are outside of the mainstream of access to information. And all of these communities are very affected by climate change. So we thought perhaps instead of taking any other form of transport, the vehicle we should take to engage in that national conversation is a train to reach these communities that are often off the beaten track.
All right, so you're reaching these communities. It's been going on for a while. You've been going into them. You've been talking to them. Are they even aware of climate change? Do they even know what COP17 is?
Well, that's part of one of the objectives of the climate train, is actually to educate people about climate change, but also to let them understand what COP17 is about and the fact that all of these countries of the United Nations will be coming to Durban to take decisions about their lives. And you know, Leanne, many people, they sense that something has happened. People who are involved in farming know that they used to be able to predict when the rains would come. They used to be able to predict when they could plant. But actually through these extreme weather events of either extreme increased rainfall or that result in flooding or drought, their crops are affected, their livelihoods are affected. So people know that there's something, but they just haven't been able to articulate the language that is climate change. And actually it's steeped heavily in science. And part of what we want to do with the climate train is to demystify it and to develop a simpler and common language that allows all ordinary South Africans to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, which is something we were talking about off air, is that we have to make it real to people. It is real. We're living it every single day, but it's hard to take that and make it real. Now, you're on your way to COP17. You're actually leaving today on the train from Johannesburg. It's just arrived here. What are you doing with this information at COP17?
Right. At COP17, in fact, all along the train, we've been recording the discussions with communities. We've been recording the aspirations, the wishes, the desires of school children, of youth, about the world they would want to see and about the decisions they would want leaders who gather in Durban to take. So we've been recording this in a number of ways. We're doing a climate change film or climate train film. We're also capturing this in the form of poetry and art. So at COP17, we will represent those voices of people and their messages in all of these platforms. The art canvases of the school children and the youth will be displayed all around the COP venue in Durban. The climate train film will also be played in Durban. There will be an exhibition in Durban of all of the various platforms that have been used. There's also theatre, which will be presented in Durban, which reflects what people have said. There will be a photography book as well as a number of documented forms, also as research, because we've been getting the most amazing information from people about how they have been affected by climate change, how their agricultural output has been affected. So also what we have are students on the train who are documenting this. And this will form part of social research that will go to inform universities' research agendas. Because what we're also asking, especially in university towns, is the research that universities are doing relevant to what the needs of South African people are to enable them to adapt to climate change?
Well, listen, we wish you the best of luck. Go out there and make us proud. Take that information and do something with it. Let the world listen. June JOSEPH-LANGA, CEO of Indalo Yethu, on the climate train that leaves Johannesburg, starts heading towards Durban. It's already been to Cape Town, so it's been stopping off at different small towns and villages within South Africa and educating the masses and finding out their stories about climate change as well. Good luck, June.